Today we're going to be testing the scratch resistance of F1 leather mats. Now I've already, I did another video and I was already doing this earlier, so this is not the first time I'm doing it to this, this piece here. So I just have a dirty shoe. I got some dirt from my wash bay drain, and so this is going to mimic, you know, use, wear and tear. No one's ever going to rub their shoe like this on the mat. I would hope not. But this is going to mimic, you know, maybe years, months, 10 years, I don't know, of wear and tear over the course of time. But generally, you know, when you step on the mat, you're this sort of movement, maybe a little bit. But this is obviously way more aggressive. I kind of thought of using like a key or a knife, but we know those things are going to damage the leather, and that's not realistic use. Rubbing a shoe back and forth is extremely realistic over the course of time. So let me clean it off so we can see and inspect. I don't even see any dulling. I don't see any scratches. Dirt is extremely scratchy. It's got hooks and jagged edges on it. That's why you have scratches on your exterior paint of your car, because the dirt slides across and grabs and scratches. I don't see anything. It still has that sheen to it. Pretty impressive. And if you don't believe me about the shoe, 1500 grit. I'm not pushing super hard. Kind of, this is how a shoe would slide on leather over the course of time. It still has the sheen. You can definitely see some, I don't know what you want to call that, but you can see like the effect of the sandpaper. I mean, 1500 grit is pretty tough paper. So, I mean, that probably 1500 grit, the shoe did nothing to it. I don't know how much time that would represent. Sandpaper probably represents, an extreme example, I mean 5 years, maybe 2, just depending on how you use it. So obviously it's leather. If I would have pushed harder, I would have done more damage, but the leather is still there. I could put a protectant on this and restore the product, the material back to its original condition. It'll actually fill in these scuffs and scratches. I could actually re-dye this material and re-clear coat it and restore it, as long as the material is not busted open. And actually we can restore that as well. I have a feeling the CEO of F1 Mats probably does not know that they're this durable. I know he knows they're durable, but I don't know if he knows they're this durable. 1500 grit sandpaper is probably like, you know, a herd of people walking on the mats for like 3 straight years. I mean, this is an extreme example of use, and just the slight sheen. And I would venture to say if I clean these maybe even a little bit better, I might be able to knock some of that stuff off. It could just be, you know, transfer from the sandpaper. Let's see. Like almost like the color of the sandpaper being transferred to the leather mat. Yeah, it did. It kind of knocked some of that marking off, but you can see that it's definitely affected it. It's taken probably the clear coat. There's clear coat on this, so this is dyed and clear coated. If it was not clear coated, it would not be this durable. But the sandpaper probably scuffed off, and I can actually just take my leather clear coat and I could probably just go back over this and bang, brand new. So even if you do show signs of wear and tear after 2 or 3 years, I would say for me to spend, you know, $300 to $500, whatever it costs, whatever vehicle you have, and this is what it looks like after 3 years or 5 years, I'd be pretty impressed. Now, on top of that, if you get the double layer, which I recommend getting the double layer, which is a fabric layer that goes on top of this one. So that means shoes will almost never touch this part of the leather. And the fabric mats are going to hold up to friction better. They'll show wear, like the heel dent in the driver's side. But the rest of the seats, you're not going to see heel dents because people generally lay their feet flat. The only person who's putting their heel on the material is the driver on the pedals. And you got that pivot point. Of course, you have that shield that protects the leather. It's like a hardened plastic or rubber piece that covers the section where your heel would go. The fabric is going to take the impact. And if after 5 or 10 years your driver's leather is, well, it's covered under a 5-year warranty. So within those few years you can have it replaced. And if this wears more than you like, you've got a 2-year warranty. So really, these things will pay for themselves over time. The other reason being that they're easy to clean, which is really, for me, the biggest selling point. Looks is number 2. Looks is a great reason to buy these mats, but number 1 is ease of clean. I'm going to charge less as a detailer. So there's no reason not to get leather floor mats, double layer leather floor mats, and they will be with the vehicle for the life of that vehicle. Bye.